Welcome back. Let's get to that very conversation that has to do with Osun State. The elections have held on Saturday, organized by the state government, and now there is a bit of, I'm not sure how to describe it, so a little background that we've explained. Last week there was an incident, if you've been following Osun politics, where some local government chairmen that were removed in 2022 were reinstated by the appeal court. Now that was a controversial issue because the APC and the PDP had different outlook to that judgment. APC said they were reinstated, PDP said there was no enforceable order of the court. Well, at the end of the day, there was a fracas. 6 people died on both sides. Now, for the APC, actually, the officials went and they've resumed their jobs at the local government secretariat. But that was just a few days before the local government election organized by the state government. Now the state government has organized a local government election on Saturday and have even sworn in local government chairmen. So now we have reinstated local government chairmen, newly elected local government chairmen who are meant to resume today. That is the situation we found ourselves in Osun State. Well, the PDP has said, stay away from the local government secretary, we'll follow this to the court. But the people who are in the face of all of this are here to respond to what this means for all of us as far as Osun politics is concerned. Hashim Abioye is the chairman of the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission. He joins us via Zoom from Osogbo, the Osun State capital. Also joining us right here in our Lagos today, he was here last week, Remy Omoye is an APC member in Osun State and Executive Director of Project Implementation, Federal Housing Authority in Nigeria, in our Lagos City. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, viewers at home.
So let me start with you, Mr. Abioye, Chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission in the state. So tell us exactly what you make of the situation we've now found ourselves in Osun State.
Well, thank you very much and good morning. I will say that some actors have not been honest with the situation on ground. If you want to know the true situation on ground, we should come from the background of the judgment of the courts. We are not talking about just one judgment. Let's forget about the APC or the APP or the PDP here. Let us talk about the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission itself. OSIEC itself had 2 judgments hanging on its neck. And these 2 judgments nullified the election conducted by OSIEC in 2022. Now, the APC was a party to the 2 judgments, and they were able to scale through in one of the judgments at the Court of Appeal, when the Court of Appeal struck out the suit filed in order for them to have their way one way or the other. The court struck out that suit and there was no more. But there was another judgment of the court which nullified the election conducted by OSIEC in 2022. That was the judgment of the APP. And it is still a hook on the neck of the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission. That means OSIEC did not conduct any meaningful or lawful election in 2022. And more to this was the judgment of the High Court of Osun State, which recognized that there were vacancies in the 30 local government area of Osun State and that we should go ahead to fill the vacancies. So if we are talking about the lawfulness of the election we conducted or the reality of the issue on ground, I think the Attorney General of the Federation can assist a lot. The courts have done their own. The Attorney General of the Federation can assist a lot. Fine. He has used his exalted office to render an opinion on the PDP APC's matter. I want the Attorney General of the Federation and I want people of reason in the country to please appeal to the Attorney General of the Federation to please give us an opinion on the judgment of the Federal High Court in the APP's matter, which nullified the election conducted by OSIEC in 2022, and against which the appeal filed by the APC was dismissed on the 13th January 2025. Let us have his opinion on this. We will have a better situation on ground, and I think peace will return to the state if he can use his exalted office to assist us in this situation. Right. And I need to say this, that this like the Solomonic wisdom. When two ladies were fighting over a baby and one said, cut the baby into two, and the other one said, no, instead of cutting the baby into two, let the baby live. Give the baby to this person. And that was where you will know who owns the baby. Someone said, we will take over the secretariat at all costs, forcefully, whatever it takes.
All right, Mr. Abio, just a moment. Let's bring it to the Lagos State. Mr. Moy, you've listened to him, and I know you have a position, and the party actually has a position as far as this is concerned. Your party has released a statement to say your local government chairman should resume. Let's just get your initial take on what is playing out. I just want the perspective generally.
All right, thank you very much. I think you were a bit biased in your introduction. Introduce me as APC Chieftain. Hashim is a card-carrying member and the chieftain of PDP, contested for House of Assembly in fellow local government, so I need to clear that.
When did he contest?
When did he contest? A few years ago.
But he's
the chairman of OSIEC.
You didn't introduce him well.
I don't know him to be a member of the APC.
Telling you,
so you don't
everybody knows. You're a journalist, you should have done your findings.
No, we've asked him.
Hashim is a card-carrying member of PDP, so I need to make that clear.
No, just a moment.
On this program right now, Kayode, hold on. On this program right now, as far as the election, is it the chairman of the Electoral Commission? I just want you to answer. Just hold on.
Introduce me as ED. No, you introduce me as executive director.
And a member of the APC.
And a member of the APC. So I'm telling you, Hashim is a member of the PDP. So let's leave that conversation.
No. We won't leave it. We won't leave it. Is he the chairman of OSIEC or no?
Am I the executive director of FHA?
But you get the point, right?
You also got my point, right?
So that is immaterial right now for me. So respond to the question.
I'm sorry, we need to just bounce this off because you just impugned on the person
of
my colleague first.
It's a known fact.
So, Mr. Let's ask him. Are you a card-carrying member of a PDP?
I am not. I am not. I put up the.
When did you resign? When did you resign your membership of a PDP?
I resigned my membership as far as September 2024.
Okay, September 2024. So, Mr. Mowaye.
The chairman of OSIEC resigned his membership of PDP last year.
So, do you agree you were wrong for saying my colleague was biased?
No, I'm not.
You said he was biased. I didn't introduce him.
He has resigned.
So we needed to withdraw that because he's no more.
He told you people that he has resigned.
So he's no more a member of a PDP.
But that tells you
he has told
now,
he has resigned.
You have to take this thing.
No, you made it.
No, you're making a statement on me, which is not fair.
No.
The man is the chairman. Just hold on, Mr. Moy.
So how would you feel if they tell you the chairman of INEC was once a member of APC?
Mr. Moy, it's not an action. This is not a conversation.
All you tell me is you don't know. He was never a member of APC.
It's not a conversation, so you don't tell me what I should do or should not do. You don't tell me that now, Mr. Moy. So just respond to the question, please.
Okay. I've made my point clear on that. These local government chairmen were sacked November 27. Issuing an executive order based on the November 25th Federal Court judgment. PDP went to court. They won at the Federal Court. And those local government chairmen were sacked based on that judgment because the governor issued an executive order issuing on that judgment. The APP judgment is talking about came on the 30th of November 2022. So those local government chairmen had been sacked before then. We were displeased. And what was the only thing we could do? The only thing we could do at that time was to approach a higher court. We were in that court for about 3 years, about 2.5 years or thereabout. And the Court of Appeal gave an express judgment. I was here last week when you read the judgment. He said the appeal is meritorious and allowed. It did not say allowed in parts. It did not say dismiss. So the Court of Appeal made the case so clear. And you know the interesting thing is, if you don't understand the judgment of the Court of Appeal, or you have an issue, you won't go to a lower court. Now you went back to a lower court. In that judgment, you read that day, the Court of Appeal lambasted OSIEC for the role they played in all this thing. You are talking about an APP judgment. A judgment that there was a ruling to dismiss this appeal because of what term do they use now? And as I speak to you, that appeal, there's a motion for that appeal to release it. Because there was no full judgment, it was just a ruling that the people that brought this appeal abandoned it. And they have filed a motion to release it. So that has nothing to do with what is on ground. What is clear is there's a there's a court of appeal judgment based on the reason why they were sacked. They were sacked November 27th based on the November 25th judgment against APC. And APC went to the court of appeal. And the court of appeal said, you people should come back to office. And in issues like this, the Osun State caucus of the House of Rep, the PDP members, call on the Speaker and the Attorney General of the Federation that want you to interpret this judgment. In the case of Edo, the Attorney General came and said, no, APC governor, you cannot ask these people to go. They came back to office. Nobody raised eyebrow. In the case of the APC, the PDP caucus in the House of Rep of Osun said, AGF, explain this to us. And as the chief law officer of the country, he gave his clear opinion. So I'm shocked that after he gave his opinion, PDP claimed they went to a lower court to vacate a full judgment of the Court of Appeal. That is not done anywhere.
So, Mr. Mawai, which local government are you from?
I'm from Electoral West local government.
So, who's your local government chairman?
Segun Olabode.
Of what party? Of
the APC.
So, you don't regard what happened over the weekend?
I come from Electoral West, Ward 6, Unit 2. I had pinhole cameras on that Saturday. There was no IOT, there was nothing.
There was no election?
There was no election now.
Okay, so let's ask him then. So, Mr. Bioye, this has been said time and again.
Installed.
So, where did you say you're from again?
Unit West, Ward 6, Unit 2.
So, Mr.
I
Bioye.
had a pinhole camera for the whole period.
All right. So, Mr. Bioye, you just heard him. He said he had a pinhole camera. Where did the election hold that day? Maybe for his word, if you're not able to speak to it. But for those who are saying, where did this election hold? And I know you had said that even the security operatives locked the state electoral office, locked you out. So, how did this process happen?
Well, thank you very much for whatever it is. Remy has said what he wanted to say, and it's usual to attack. So it is not our concern now. Our concern is about the lives of the people. Ask Remy about the judgment of the Federal High Court of 30th November 2022, which sacked the APC purported elected official. You know, I was not the OSIEC chairman then. And the judgment was appealed by the APC to the Court of Appeal. They did not file any brief of argument. They did not transmit any record with respect to that appeal. The Court of Appeal now dismissed that appeal. A decision of any court, even if the court sneezes, it is a decision. Are you telling me that the decision of the Court of Appeal of 13 January 2025 was not a decision, was not binding on you? Now he admitted that they had now gone back to the court to have that appeal relisted. I want to know the basis upon which the appeal will be relisted, on the basis of which brief of argument, on the basis of which record of appeal. So they were trying to downplay the other judgment which hooked them in the neck. And someone gave an analysis that a snake bit you at 2 spots. You were able to extract the venom from 1 spot. The other spots, if you have not extracted the venom, that person will still die. Now, going back to the issue of the election, we had the intel of the security threats, and that the move by some people from the top to have our office sealed. So we distributed election materials far ahead of the day of the election. So when they came to seal up, we have a very good relationship with the security chiefs in the state. They will not say that I've done anything wrong to them. They have been securing our premises, only for them to turn against us on the day of the election, the day before the election. But that was not a problem at all. The election went on successfully. And you will see that in your reports, and from what were available on the day of the election, from the available fact, you will see that some of our officials were arrested. As I'm talking to you, as I'm speaking this morning, some of these officials are still in the custody of the police for no offense. other than being our ad hoc staff. And police were cutting away some of our election materials, cubicles, ballot boxes, and all that, not for anything other than that we conducted election lawfully, sanctioned by the courts.
So for his own word that he says election did not hold,
what have gone through the legitimate process. This was an election that we gave notice of over a year ago. They did not do anything to it until a week before the election, and they started all this.
Mr. Bioye, just to speak to his own question pointedly, he says that election did not hold in his own ward. In his own ward, what may have happened?
Election held in his ward, and results were declared.
Well, Mr. Mawai, he says election held.
A reporter who said election held only 2 polling units, that's where the governor voted and where the speaker voted. And you saw reports from other broadcast stations and how the newspapers reported it. The elections went on freely and fairly and peacefully. Nobody died.
Mr. Mawai, so the pinhole camera that you installed, was it facing somewhere else? What exactly happened? Because it said that election,
well, it was
held.
Where I vote is called Akata, is a Fort Junction. So it was the entire place.
Please, let's temper our words and just speak to the issues here. If you have contrary evidence that election held, you bring it. Your evidence, we have to see it as well. But he says election held.
Okay, let me explain this to you. We have about 3,000 polling units in Osun. There were a lot of journalists on the field that day. There is a particular journalist that reported that the information he got is that voting was concluded before 7 a.m. There's a particular journalist. There is a candidate of Zenith Labour Party that got to where she wanted to vote. She didn't see anybody. She did a video. Candidate of Labour Party got to where he wanted to vote. He said, there's nobody here. These videos will make it available. They are everywhere. We planted a lot of pinhole cameras.
Your pinhole too?
Yes, we have planted a lot of them. Not because we know there was going to be an election. There was no vacancy have been issued, but we just wanted the outside world to know the kind of person we are dealing with in Osun. I'm glad Azim agreed that he claimed that he resigned as a PDP member September last year, and is the one conducting the election. So that tells you a lot of things. For me, we have over 3,000 polling units. We have 1.95 million registered voters in Osun. He claimed that 60% of the people came to vote, which is 1.17 million. It's not possible. There was no voting. It was just a charade they did on Saturday. And there's no vacancy have been issued, so they just wasted Osun's money. If you look at the Court of Appeal judgment, they lambasted OSIEC, the 3 judges. So it's quite unfortunate that we find ourselves in this situation in Osun, but we don't want this to distract us. Our chairman had resumed back to work, and we had promised the people of Osun democracy of good, dividends of good governance. And the leader of the party in the state, Chief Adebisi and His Excellency Boyego Etola, had mandated them that we want good governance at the grassroots. So going back and forth, it's not possible for a lower court to vacate the judgment of the Court of Appeal. So there's no basis for us again back on front. But one thing I can tell you is there was nothing called the election on Saturday. It was just drama. I started on the platform yesterday that it's what they call our Dakeri. I've ruled out some statistics now. These videos, evidence are there. There were a lot of journalists talking to
Mr. Abio is going to respond, but there's something I want you to speak to. Is raise issues around, you've raised issue about a court that they went to, which is lower court, to trying to set aside the judgment of the higher court. Everybody knows how that plays out, but he's also raised another Court of Appeal judgment that they said the APC is looking away from. I wanted you to respond to that as well.
I explained that earlier. Let me read, for the sake of emphasis. November 25th, there was a judgment in favor of PDP. November 25th, 2022, there was a judgment in favor of PDP against APC. November 27th, Governor Dima sacked those local government chairmen using executive order, inching it on that November 25th judgment, which was against APC in favor of PDP. November 30, after they had been sacked, there was a judgment for APP. Now, everybody went to the Court of Appeal. In the case of APP, the Court of Appeal ruled that you abandoned this case.
You abandoned the case, APP?
No. APC was joined to the suit. We are not the original person that went to the court for that. We had our own appeal. And we went to court to release it January 23rd, 2025. By February 3rd, in our own case, there was a substantive judgment in the Court of Appeal. So even if you have issues with two Court of Appeal judgments, it is not a lower court that will interpret it. So it's clear. There's a full judgment in favor of APC from the Court of Appeal. He's a lawyer, understand that he's a lawyer. So if he is challenged with the interpretation, what he should do is approach the higher court, which is the Supreme Court. We don't have to go back to a lower court. It is not done anywhere, and it cannot stand.
Let's begin to look at what is the way forward. Let me start with you, Mr. Abioye. Right now, we have two people, the APC, of course, reinstated, and then the PDP this time as far as the issue of the election is concerned. If you, from OSIEC's point of view, from a lawyer's point of view, I understand you're a lawyer, what is the next line of action to avoid any form of incident going forward? Because all eyes are on the State Secretariat today.
Yes, thank you very much. Let me emphasize this. I resigned my membership of the PDP in 2023, not 2024. That's one. Secondly, the issue of reinstatement did not arise at all. Court of Appeal did not reinstate any local government official. This was an election that was conducted under the APC's administration using yes or no, 60 days notice as against 360 days. So that is the second one. The third issue is the way forward is that APP's judgment, which sacked them on the 30th November 2022 and was appealed against by them, and they abandoned the appeal, and the Court of Appeal dismissed that appeal. There was already a pronouncement of the Court of Appeal on that decision dismissing their appeal. So it's now telling me that because they did not pursue their appeal and the Court of Appeal dismissed their decision and their appeal, that decision, because they did not pursue it, was not binding on them. Remy is only joking. These people are only joking. They have subjected...
All right, Mr. Abioye, because of time, my apologies. Mr. Remy, so you could respond, so we can wrap the conversation up.
Okay, thank you very much.
I was going to say the way forward quickly. Just one line from Mr. Abioye. The way forward quickly. I know you were going to make that point, Mr. Abioye. What's the way forward? Just one line.
The way forward is for the Attorney General of the Federation to look at the APP's judgment and give us an opinion. That is the way forward. Please let us press it on the Attorney General of the Federation.
All right.
Well, I need to congratulate Ashim. He will go down the history as the first person to conduct election for sit-at-home council chairman and councillor. You know, the governor has asked them to sit at home, so they've succeeded in doing a sit-at-home.
No, Rivers State also had the same thing. The governor told them they can work.
But they've been going to office.
No. When they came in, they said they can work from home.
They can work
no. This one did not say they should work from home. Look at the statement, though. Don't go to office. So they are sit at home.
No, it's work from home. It happened in Rivers. So I'm not saying that you should update that your award.
Well, let's go to our, so that we don't lose. There's a clear judgment. The APP judgment, we are not a member of APP. I'm not from APP. We were joined to that suit. And I told you that case had been, there's a motion to release it. So what that means is the case is still alive. But there's already a substantive judgment that we took to Court of Appeal. So there's no need for us to go back and forth. You are saying the Attorney General should do an opinion. The Attorney General came up and did opinion that based on the law, this is the situation. You still went ahead to do election, going to a lower court to vacate a full judgment of the Court of Appeal. I need to also tell you this. What they went to do at the lower court, the ruling was given within 3 days. Everything within 3 days. So, but that's not even the point. The point is these people were sacked based on the judgment on 25th. And on the 7th November, they were sacked.
What's the way forward, Mr.
No, the way forward is we have resumed. The way forward is we are going to provide dividend of democracy. When Governor Adeleke came in, he sacked 1,500 teachers paid from the local government coffers and 2,000 health workers paid from the local government and never replaced them. So the local government chairman had given pronouncement to reinstate those people. So we want to just give good governance.
All right.
We want our people to get dividend of democracy. So going back and forth is not an issue. I don't expect him to take side. He's supposed to be an umpire, but since he decided to take side, I mean, good luck to him.
All right, Remy Omoye, APC member, Executive Director, Projects Implementation, Federal Housing Authority. Hashim Abioye, Chairman of the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I wish you the very best.
Who is on 2022 or 2023 or 2024? It's important we emphasize that.
You can take the argument to him after the show. we just do what we have to do, Mr. Remy. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We'll take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll bring you further conversation right here on the program. Join us again.